Hello, happy Wednesday. It's Dr. Goldie. I'm your double board certified obesity medicine physician and women's health care expert. I'm the founder of a center called Illinois Wellness and Weight Loss Centers located in the city of Chicago. I'm a best selling author and a speaker, and I help women just like you to lose weight. And I help you to do it by embracing the principles of wellness and healthy living so that you can lose weight and never ever have to diet again. So I just found out that the FDA has approved Wegovy, which is the latest or one of the latest weight loss medications that was FDA approved last year. It was coined the game changer of weight loss medications, like the game changer. It was uh, said that Wegovy gives the closest results to bariatric surgery than any other weight loss medication before it. So, you all have heard about the glucagon like peptide agonists, the GLP-1 agonists, which are on the market for weight loss, and they're also used very quite often for type 2 diabetes treatment. And it is all the rage. You will find it on TikTok and Instagram. You will hear all about Kim Kardashian taking one of the GLP-1s for weight loss. And people are calling my office like crazy. They are calling saying, hey, do you have the GLP-1s? Do you have it? Do you have it? First of all, let me say, putting it in the water might be a good idea. Just put it in the tap water, and that might be a good idea. But no, it's not that simple. You need to be prescribed the GLP-1s, um, and you need to be evaluated by a trained professional who can watch your progress and your weight loss on the medication. But the FDA has just approved it for adolescents from age 12 on. Age 12. So, what do you think of that? What do you think about children being prescribed weight loss medications? It's gonna get more common. It's gonna get more common. I wanna know how you feel about that because there are medications that are FDA approved for the treatment of obesity in children. Childhood obesity is on the rise, just like adult obesity in America. And among adolescents, it is really on the rise. So something has got to be done. We can all agree that something's got to change because if we don't intervene in our children's issues with weight, our children are not expected to outlive their parents. Is that not crazy? The life expectancy of children is not going to uh, surpass their parents. That is just not going to work. So, obesity, as we know, is related to multiple chronic illnesses. Um, Type 2 diabetes used to be called adult onset diabetes, but because children are being affected by it, they had to like reclassify it or rename it type 2 diabetes. Hypertension is on the rise. 40% of African American people are diagnosed with chronic hypertension in America. 40% over the age of 20. That's crazy. Fatty liver disease is on the rise. It's just ridiculous. Obstructive sleep apnea, arthritis. How much are you hearing about people who need knee replacements and hip replacements? And they seem quite young, right? But all of these illnesses, in some way, can be traced back to lifestyle diseases or obesity being one of them. So, would you agree for your child to be prescribed weight loss medications? Or are you like other parents who are saying, no, I wouldn't want my child on medications? Look, I think there is a time and a place for medications. definitely in our society. I am not a pediatric obesity specialist, but I am sure that my pediatric obesity colleagues would agree there is definitely a place for anti-obesity medicines in children. But you know what? A lot of childhood obesity is not related to genetic or congenital problems. A lot of the obesity that our children are suffering from, it's not because they have some genetic problem or they have a chromosomal abnormality that's causing these, problems. Those things exist, but they're quite rare. A lot of our children are suffering from weight issues due to lifestyle behavior issues. Now, how many of you grew up in I don't know, let's go back, the 90s, the 80s, the 70s? How many baby boomers do we have out there? There was a time when kids were not in the house all the time on their phones. They didn't have personal computers and iPads. They were not in front of the TV 24/7. Kids went out to play. Kids were more active. Kids were not allowed to sit down all day in the house, and neither did they want to. Kids wanted to go out to play. They didn't want to be in the house, but now going out is a punishment. And being in the house is the things that kids want to do. Kids want to be in the house on their smart devices. As a result of the overuse of these smart devices, our kids are out of shape. To put it simply, the kids are out of shape. The kids are not getting the recommended exercise that kids should get. Our kids should be like physically active at least 1 hour a day. At least they should be out playing basketball and baseball and hopscotch and jump rope and be playing tennis and gymnastics, and they should be doing flips, and they should be riding bikes, and kids should be moving their bodies, but they are not. And as a result, kids are more sedentary than they were years ago, and kids are gaining excessive weight, and it is paying a cost to their health. Moreover, the food that kids are eating is not the same as the things we used to eat 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Kids are not eating at home because fewer meals are being consumed in the home than they are in the drive-through, in the fast food restaurants, in the mall, Uber Eats, and all of the other ways that we are like eating this junk food, right? Junk food in America is just ridiculous, and the kids are consuming too many calories, too many empty, unhealthy calories, and as a result, are ending up with these weight problems. In my mind, my thoughts are we adults, we need to be dealing with the behaviors and the nutrition and the physical activity of our children. If we're going to save our children, we need to deal with this. We need to be cooking at home because studies show that children who eat with the family at the dinner table and have conversation will tend to be a healthier weight than kids who are eating in front of their computers. They're eating in their rooms, they're eating in the family area, they're eating in front of their phones. Kids and families need to eat at home so that we can help our children to have a healthier weight. We need to be preparing our meals at home. We need to be preparing our lunches for our kids to take to school. There is no reason why our kids should be eating flaming hots snacks and cupcakes and donut snacks and potato chips and Snicker bars snacks. There's no reason why kids should be eating those types of foods because they are contributing to the obesity epidemic in America. They're contributing to the weight issues of children. And last I checked, most kids don't have jobs. Most kids are not, they don't have credit cards, and they don't do the shopping at home. It's the parents. We parents are doing the shopping. So, how are the kids getting this food? How are they eating so unhealthy? How are they eating so bad? Because we're allowing it. I see it all the time. We parents, it's like we don't want to rock the boat. We don't want to push our kids. We don't want to, I don't know, some of us, we're trying to be friends instead of being parents to our children, right? We need to be the parents and not the friends. We need to tell our children, no, no, you cannot eat out. You cannot go to Harold's Chicken. You can't go to McDonald's every Saturday night. You cannot eat these flaming hot chips and all this other crap and junk food. We need to tell them no, set boundaries, and be the parents. And then that way, our children are not going to be subjected to the chronic illnesses and the stigma and the illness and the all of the discomforts and the the things that go along with chronic obesity. What are your thoughts? Put them in the comments. I want to hear them, because either we're going to do something about it or it's inevitable. The standard way of eating in America is ultra processed foods, lots of sugar, excess salt. Portions are way too big. And most kids just want to be like the other kids. They just want to go out with their friends. They just want to eat like everybody else. They just want what they see on TV, what they are watching on the commercials, and what they're seeing on the billboards. They just want what they see. Just like adults, we want what we see too. And what we're selling our kids, what we are feeding our children, is killing our children. And now kids are needing more and more medications. So, in my opinion, medication is definitely an option. It's not a weakness to need medication. Okay? There are medications are indicated in the right situations. Okay, certainly medications are helpful. It's not a sign of weakness to need medications. It's not a sign of weakness to need surgery, but I think there's a problem when we as parents, as adults who should be responsible, are not checking what we're putting on the table. We're not checking what our kids are eating for lunch. We're not checking uh, for the snacks. We're just allowing the propagation of the standard American way of living that's harming our children in the long run. And I think we got to do something about it. And if we don't do something about it, we're in trouble. In fact, I don't know who's going to take care of the baby boomers and who's going to take care of the Generation Xers. Do I have any other Generation Xers on this line? Is there anybody else but me wondering, like, okay, who's going to take care of us when we're senior citizens, right? Because if the young people can't do it because they're not in good health, then we're really in trouble. God only knows the work ethic of the generation is that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story. The work ethic and the inability of our kids to be able to have, I don't know, as much energy as adults. Like, can you outrun your children? Are your kids as physically fit as you are? I know that kids model behavior. Kids model behavior. But if all they have to model is what they see on Instagram and TikTok, that's what they will model. They're going to watch the parents. They are. We're the first educators of kids. We are like the first teachers, the moms and the pops, right? So, like, what are your kids watching you do? Are you eating right? Are you eating healthfully? Do you exercise? Do you monitor your portions, or are you on Uber Eats? Are you Instacarting everything? Are you ordering your fast food out every other weekend? Are you like getting lit and drinking excessive alcohol every day? What are you doing? Because your kids are watching you, and they're either going to model you or they're going to model what they see on social media, on the internet, on the television. I would rather my kids model me and that they would watch what I do so that they can model good behaviors, good nutrition, good activity, so that they can like prioritize their own health and wellness. I think it's important. I am an advocate of health and wellness. I am a proponent of healthy eating. Nobody's perfect, but we have to get to the point where we are trying because I don't believe that the healthcare industry is coming to save us, right? They're not coming to save us. We're going to have to save ourselves because think about it, these medications that are being approved for weight loss and weight management, a lot of them are super expensive. A lot of them are not covered by private insurances, and so a lot of people can't afford them. Furthermore, medications have the potential for side effects, don't they? They have the potential for side effects. So, it should it be a first choice or should it be a last option? Put in the comments. I'm curious as to what you think. Should it be the first thing you go for, or should it be the last thing, like your last resort? There's nothing else you can do. You've done all you can. Now, I have seen parents turn their kids' health around, and these kids, they've done it by deciding, you know what? My kid has an issue. I am going to save my kid. I have seen a mom really like turn the trajectory of her son's healthcare. She's like had it, she turned the corner. She was able to take two adolescent boys, change the way she prepared food, cooked food for her kids, pencil in activity for her kids regularly. And those boys lost tons of weight and they got in good health and they improved their lives. And it was the mom who did it. She was like their greatest advocate. She was the biggest proponent of them turning their lifestyle around. It's up to us parents to do it for the kids. We need to save our kids because if we don't do it, who's going to do it? Yeah, they're gonna kick, they're gonna scream, they're gonna complain, they're not gonna like it. Kids don't like it. That's kids. They wanna do what they wanna do when they wanna do it. Does anybody know any other kids like that? Does anybody have kids like that? Yes, you either do or I don't know. I don't know. But that's the way kids are, and that's what they're going to be. And it's up to us parents to take initiative, and it's up to us parents to really, really care enough for our kids to say, nope, I'm going to intervene on your behalf. Good evening. Hello there. Someone says they were discouraged first because of uh, soreness of shots. Can you substitute shots? Hmm. I'm not sure what shots you're talking about, you know, but as I'm talking about medications for obesity, for the treatment of obesity in children. Um, some medications are oral. The latest medications that are approved for children are injections. And quite honestly, they're very easy injections. They are non painful. They're weekly injections, very easy to use. But the question is whether or not you want your kids to be on it. You know, I, 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 I personally, like I said, I know there's indication for the usage of anti-obesity treatment uh, medications for children. There's indications for them. What I am saying is that we, the parents, have got to work additionally with our kids. We've got to work on feeding our kids the foods that are going to give their bodies life and not take life away from their bodies. We've got to concentrate on turning these gosh darn phones off and the internet off and the TV off and making sure our kids are getting exercise. Yeah, it's hard because kids can't go out and play like they used to. I get that. You can't just send your kids out and say, okay, come in when the street lights come on, like when I was growing up as a kid. But you know what? There are so many things that we can do for our kids to help them to be more active at home. There are things we can do with our kids. But we've got to like say no to the distractions. We've got to say no to the crap that our kids are buying. Because, like I said, we're buying it for the kids. Kids don't have jobs, they don't have credit cards, and they don't have bank accounts. Maybe some of your kids do. I don't know. But the kids I know, they don't have a way of making their own money. So they depend on parents to buy things. We parents have to concentrate on buying the right things. And yes, we're busy. How many of us were latchkey kids growing up? Our moms had to work, so we came home from school, we let ourselves in, and we had to like, be at home until parents got off of work. But I don't know about you, but like my mom, she made sure we had something to eat at home. She made sure that we had vegetables, and she made sure we had meat, and she made sure we had a starch. She did, because we couldn't afford to eat out. First of all, it wasn't heard of like it is today. It wasn't as acceptable. Like going out was a treat. And then, if we did have the treat of going to McDonald's or going someplace like that, there was no super size, there was no extra large, and the Happy Meals probably were appropriately sized for children. Now, I don't know what's going on. Okay, everything's supersized, everything is over the top in calories, salt, sugars, and fats. And it's really just something that we need to divorce ourselves from. In America, we need to divorce ourselves from the madness. It is hard, but we need to do it because we need to save our children. So, as I said, I am not a pediatric obesity specialist, but I am a board certified obesity medicine physician and women's health expert. My name is Dr. Goldie, and I'm the founder of Illinois Wellness and Weight Loss Centers located in Chicago. And I help people to lose weight every day. I do it, and we do it well at my center, but we do it by helping people to embrace the principles of wellness, good nutrition, movement in their lives, great choices, education about food and macronutrients, and helping people to change their whole mindset around food. Because food is meant for fuel, it's not meant for sport, it's not meant to comfort us, to be our emotional partners. It's not meant to satisfy boredom in our lives. It's not meant to be a social treat. Food is meant to fuel our bodies. And when we put it in its proper place and we divorce the American standards of eating and food and junk and snacks and fast food and all things fat and all things sugar and all things unhealthy, when we divorce that, we're going to be healthier as a result. We're going to be healthier. So I invite you to check out our website. I invite you to find me on social media under all platforms under Ask Dr. Goldie, MD. I'm located on the web at askdrgoldiemd.com. That's AskDrGoldieMD. So I enjoyed talking to you about this. I want you guys to check it out, see what you think about the FDA approving Wegovy anti-obesity medication for adolescents, kids as young as 12 years old. What do you think? You think your kids need to be on it? Do you think that we need to do something additionally for our kids? I'd love to know. So have a good night. It was great chatting, and I'll see you soon.